All right, everybody, I am back now, and I think the microphone is working. I was typing in the chat. Okay, so I don't know what that was about. That was weird. But my mic was just not working, so I just had to reset the OBS. Okay, so let's try this again. Hello, everybody. I am Conquering History Games, and welcome to the start of a new campaign on the channel. Today we're going to be doing another Russian unification campaign in Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order. We're going to be playing in a section of Russia that I have not played in before. That being... Wait, where is it? In Tyumen, which is part of the Western Siberia quarter of Russia, which, like I said, I have never played in before. I've done quite a few campaigns in Western Russia, and then in Central Siberia, I just did my Tomsk live stream series recently, and then in the East, I've done a couple as well. Like Buryatia was the first ever nation that I played as. I've also done Magadan. But Western Siberia is something that I have never played in. So this is like Sverdlovsk, Tyumen, Omsk, etc. And I was thinking about, because I finished up my Afghanistan Eternal Flame campaign yesterday in China Mao's Legacy. I wanted to maybe come back to a Hearts of Iron 4 live stream series. And I was thinking about doing Brazil because I want to do a different path, but then I thought, no, I shouldn't do that until I finish up my pre-recorded Brazil campaign. Or at least get far enough along that I'm not going to surpass the year that I'm in when I do the Brazil live stream. So that'll be later that we'll do another Brazil campaign. Anyway, we're going to jump in and play Tyumen, as the thumbnail gives away, though. We're not going to be staying as Kaganovich as our leader. Even though I've seen some screenshots where apparently his like industrial decisions and stuff that he could do can get really, really crazy, where you just have obscene amounts of factories available to you. We're gonna be doing Khrushchev because I actually know more about Khrushchev. And incidentally, Khrushchev is one of those classic Russian names that might initially appear difficult to spell, but I know, I know you guys probably are gonna just be saying Corn Man and stuff in the chat. But all it takes to pronounce or to type out Khrushchev is just the K, so you get the KH, Krush, so you could do Rush or Rush. So like, K Rush, like rushing somewhere, or rush in, but with an H. Karu, and then Chef, Chev, so Khrushchev. Not that hard. You'll pick it up pretty quickly. I'm sure. It's just 10 letters, guys. Anyway, let's jump into it. And what I'm going to be trying to do throughout this live stream series is I'm going to be talking a fair amount about Khrushchev. I'm going to mostly be drawing on the biography of him, Khrushchev, the man of his era, by William Tyumen, which seems to be universally agreed upon as the definitive Khrushchev biography, because it was researched. Well, basically, Tyumen spends a few pages at the start of his book explaining the context of his research into Khrushchev. And a long story short, he was working on Khrushchev, at least obliquely, both before and after the fall of the Soviet Union. But in particularly after the fall of the Soviet Union, he spent 10 years getting access to archives that had been previously closed, and also was able to interview people who worked with Khrushchev, some of Khrushchev's subordinates, and perhaps most importantly, some of Khrushchev's family cooperated with him. So, yeah, and it's a really, really interesting book, because the book is called Khrushchev, the Man and His Era, because he just talks about how, he talks about this in his preface, how he finds Khrushchev particularly interesting because Khrushchev is a reflection of the Soviet age, so to speak. So I'll just actually read for him, like, basically how people used to interpret Khrushchev and how he wants Khrushchev to be interpreted in the future and what the book is about. So he says, until the fall of the USSR, and especially during the Gorbachev era, the key questions about Khrushchev concerned his reforms, why and how he attempted them, and why they largely miscarried. Since 1991, however, Khrushchev's career has assumed a larger meaning. For taken in its entirety, and this is the important part, his life holds a mirror to the Soviet age as a whole. Revolution, civil war, collectivization and industrialization, terror, World War, Cold War, late Stalinism, post-Stalinism. Khrushchev took part in them all. What attracted so many men and women to revolution and communism? What kept them loyal after the terrible bloodletting began? What led at least some of them to break with their own past and try to reform the regime? Finally, what frustrated and defeated them, bringing on a long era of stagnation, followed by the fall of the Soviet Union itself. Anyway, so, and then he goes on from there. Okay, good night, Porky. So anyway. Whoa, shit. Dropped something? Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably occasionally, or at least once a stream, do a reading from the biography. There's a lot of interesting stuff. It's also very interesting how it's structured. It's kind of a funny story, like how the biography is structured. But I'll talk about that later. Let's first read this. So, we are playing as Tyumen. I'm going in basically blind. I'm probably going to save semi-frequently. I don't think you actually get because I don't want to accidentally be stuck with Kaganovich. The whole point is to go Khrushchev, but from what I've seen, whenever on those rare occasions that Tyumen wins, I don't think that you could actually switch to meaning wins in Western Siberia, which is the section we're in. I don't think you can actually make the switch to Khrushchev until after you unite Western Siberia, so it's going to be later. So anyway, let's get reading here. Let's get some context on us. Because we're going to be playing another, I guess, heir to the Soviet Union, allegedly, in quotation marks, legitimate Soviet government. Okay. So, when Nikolai Bukharin ascended to the seat of chairman in the old Union, he set about curtailing the influence of radical politicians, because, of course, Bukharin, please somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that in this timeline, it's not Trotsky, it's not Stalin, it's Bukharin who succeeds Lenin. It was during the turbulent 1940s that Lazar Kaganovich was reassigned to the Urals, an isolated post coveted by none. When the Soviet Union was destroyed by the fascist invader, the true adherents of communism fled to Western Siberia, where Comrade Kaganovich had organized the West Siberian People's Republic. However, years of backstabbing and political indecisiveness have taken their toll, culminating in the collapse of the Republic into multiple splinter states. Led by Lazar Kaganovich and Nikita Khrushchev, the leaders of Tyumen do not adhere to Orthodox communism. The failures of Bukharin's regime have taught them that the only effective forces in this world are those of iron and blood. Marshal Ivan Konev commands a... Oh, Konev's here! Nice. Commands a respectable infantry and armored corps, supplemented by Tyumen's well-trained militias. However, the Republic's greatest strength may lie in its goal of total industrialization through the so-called 5-year plans, a radical and potentially hazardous alternative to the NEP. NEP being what Bukharin was doing. Whoops. Hold on. Khrushchev. So are you guys just deliberately not pronouncing or typing Khrushchev's name right in the chat after I just explained to you how to do it easily? Okay. The steel city of Tyumen, right there, in this river delta, stands alone against the ultra-nationalists in Tomsk and the treacherous Third Army in Sverdlovsky. However, in the darkest halls of the underground, a grand plot is brewing, one that may yet see the Union recover from 4 decades of humiliation. Far beneath the earth, an army bides its time. 1 million soldiers workers, opponents of the old regime. It is only a matter of time until the mortal battle for Russia begins, and while the petty warlords hide from terror bombings, Tyumen gears for war. Its men have an iron will. They are well aware of their predicament. They will either reanimate the Soviet Union, crush the rebels that infest the motherland, undo Bukharin's fatal mistakes, or die trying. So, another thing that's going to be going on in this campaign is I did finally remember to put on the Second West Russian War submod on. So even after we unify Russia, there will be some sort of content that will allow us to deal with getting the rest of Russia back, unless Speer ends up winning the Civil War after Hitler's death, because this is just what I was reading on the Steam page, is that the mod has trouble interacting with Speer, apparently. And then besides that, there was also a warning saying not to have any other mods, any other sub-mods on at the same time as this one. These are the only mods that I have on besides the New Order and the Second West Russian War. Is I've got the player-led peace conference, which I doubt is going to do anything, and I've also got the vanilla UI mod on, so that shouldn't do it. And so we're going to be able to do something about the West, and also we could apparently do something about getting Vladivostok back as well. Okay, so rally the Bolsheviks against the rest of Russia, industrialize Siberia with the help of 5-year plans, consolidate power to prepare for the Great Patriotic War against Germany. Yeah, and this is Kaganovich, depending on who you ask, and or like in terms of pronunciations. If I ever did a Kaganovich proper run, it would probably be in the Moe order, because he's got a very, very cute portrait. Okay. Region info. That's the Merchant Republic, etc., etc. This is just some of the others. Yeah, famous region, stuff of nightmares. Yeah, okay. Onward. Alright. Let's get my fan on. What? We deal with Luftwaffe terror bombings? I thought that was only in West Russia. I didn't know that hit us too. That sucks. So that's hurting consumer good factories, construction speed. Oh, and all that crap. Let's see, we have a revisionist remnant. So it's my understanding that Kaganovich is a fan of Stalin, who I forget how, but he died at some point earlier in this timeline. Well, he was dead by 1962 in our timeline as well. Okay. So it's like basically Kaganovich is a fan of Stalin, but Stalin was never in power, so we never got to see him as the monster he was in real life. But that whole 5-year plan industrialization thing, right? Is how it's supposed to work. Hey there, Igor. Can't watch due to time zones. That my employer would tolerate me watching this and typing for long. Aw. Okay. So we've got here unorthodox Bolshevism. It's clear for all that blindly holding on to the idea of Lenin and the Bolsheviks will bring us no future in this changing world. As respectable as the old Bolsheviks were, we will have to deviate from their ideas for our own good. That helps with political power gain. We have the Ural automotive plant. Okay. Lenin's mausoleum. Oh, we start with it. Nice. So we get political power plus 10% and stability plus 5%. Very cool. The father of the revolution, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, was preserved by his successor upon his death so that all might remember who liberated us from the tyranny of bourgeois rule. During Barbarossa, it was evacuated from his resting place and now rests in our respectful stewardship. Possession of his remains lends a certain legitimacy to our government in the eyes of the people. The ghost of Lenin is with us! Yes! Alright. So, I don't know what we want to start with. I know it's just from infrastructure. Keep it simple. Okay. Let's get to it. And start figuring out what we're going to do here. So, I'm pretty sure we're going to want anti-tank equipment, we're going to want rifles, we're going to want support equipment, we're going to want motorized equipment, we're going to want artillery. Okay. No kidding, a small core of armor, and I've got one armored division, that's it. Kind of sucks too, they're just IFVs. That's rough. Okay, we can't do fixing the Republic until the terror bombings go away. Clock breaks. We could rebuild the Republic. So after we do all this stuff, we can fix the Republic. Holding out. So the burden we bear, our comprehensive program for surviving and thriving despite the bombings, shall be intensified. Okay. Let's look logistically what are we missing. Not really anything. So yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got quiet. Woo! Long day at work. You know what I need to just do? I need to go get some water. And also, wait, hold a sec. Let's see here. I just need to go get myself some water and get some other stuff to get my energy up. So I will be right back. Hold on. Yeah, get water. Whoa! Shoot! Almost tripped. Okay. I'm moving things around in my office. I had something on the floor. We'll be right back. Okay, I am back to play Omsk. Well, you know, it wouldn't be episode 1 of a series unless somebody is already telling me what I should actually be playing instead. Excuse me. All right. So, let's go ahead and time out Smiling Altair. You can come back in 10 minutes. So can't trade for the rubber yet. What else is new? So there's a unique feature to Tyumen. You get rid of the terror bombing before the GCW. Reunify West Siberia. Okay. So all the decisions just look like the standard stuff for right now. Shrugging some stuff in my arm, so that's what that noise is you're hearing. Okay. Okay, that mint helps. Already feeling a lot more energized. Also getting some water here. I hope everybody has had a nice day. Oh, shoot, that was on 5 speed. Actually, before I forget, let's do a little. Let's read the bio of Kaganovich, because we're gonna be here with him for a while. Although Khrushchev down here is our head of government. Oh, and he's giving us extra daily political power, so that's pretty nice. Wow, we're getting 1.27 a day. While taking a focus, very cool. So, Kaganovich, one of the older revolutionaries who you know, meaning how long he lived. I'm talking about in real life, because he didn't die until I think 91 or 92 in real life. Many thought that when Bukharin's Soviet Union collapsed, it would be almost impossible for one of his arch enemies to gain so much power as to become one of the most powerful leaders in Russia. However, Lazar Moiseevich Kaganovich would prove them wrong. An ardent supporter of Joseph Stalin, he opposed Bukharin's policies and was sent to West Siberia in what would normally be an irrelevant position. When he found himself far from the front lines of the war, though, he would accumulate power enough to form one of the largest nations in Russia before the West Russian War. With the loyalty of Field Marshal Konstantin Rokossovsky and Lieutenant General Dmitry Khrushchev, as well as the support of the 3rd and 10th Armies, Lazar Kaganovich would declare the formation of the Western Siberian People's Republic, which would stretch from the Urals to the city of Omsk. Unfortunately for him, the republic was not meant to last long. A combination of the intense Luftwaffe bombing and his two former allies distancing themselves from him would eventually lead to its collapse. In the place of the short-lived nation born from the ashes of the USSR, Rokossovsky's army would gather in the west, and Khrushchev's Black League would gather in the east, and Kaganovich had no choice but to retreat to the city of Tyumen and exercise his control over the remnants of western Siberia. Now, Kaganovich has to lead a rump state, a relic of the times of Russia in the interbellum, though through these turbulent times. He may be surrounded by enemies from both within and without his fiefdom, but his revolutionary will remains unbreakable. A hardline old Bolshevik, Kaganovich will not stray from any means to eliminate the enemies of the state and embody the all-embracing proletarian state as the great teacher Lenin and his greatest disciple comrade Stalin envisioned it since the glorious days of the Red October. Alright. Okay. Alright, we've never seen darker days. Now, the ghost of Stalin. Well, here we go. Now we're going to get into the fundamental difference between us and the rest. So I guess we don't try to claim that we are the heirs of the Soviet Union. We're just doing our own new thing. But yeah, let's talk about ideology, I think, with this event. Long live the Communist Party of Lenin Stalin. Long live General Secretary of the West Siberian Communist Party, Comrade Lazar Kaganovich. Long live the people of Russia, the cause of the people, and the Red Army who keep us safe. Death to the Black League in Omsk, who have betrayed the revolution and will bring ruin to all of Russia. Death to the madman Khrushchev, oh no, yeah, still them, who leads them and wishes to plunge our once glorious nation into darkness. Death to the traitors of the Red Army and Sverdlovsk, who have threatened to destroy our glorious military and threatened to destroy our glorious nation. And death to the treacherous Field Marshal Rokossovsky, who leads this revolt against the glory of Comrade Kaganovich. When the traitor Bukharin assigned Comrade Kaganovich to Western Siberia, he did not realize he would be setting the path for his own demise. When he showed his true colors and failed to stop the hated German scum from destroying our beautiful nation, Comrade Kaganovich led a glorious civil war against Bukharin in the name of his former comrade Joseph Stalin. While the Union fell, Kaganovich never ended his cause and formed the great People's Republic of Western Siberia. Time did not prove our ally, however, as the traitors in Omsk and Sverdlovsk betrayed the revolution and launched a surprise attack on the capital of Tyumen. While we bravely held out and stopped these attacks, the People's Republic now lies dead. With the German bombing still pummeling what little we have to dust, this situation has now lasted for over a year. Soon, however, we will find a way to bring justice to these traitors and restore the Union for the glory of Comrade Kaganovich and Comrade Stalin and Comrade Lenin for the people. Hurrah! Alright. So of course, once we have the 15 political power, we're gonna start to, or the 20 army points, command power. We'll get started on all this stuff. So we can get raiding people and whatnot. Hmm. 85 speed. Here we go. Hold on. Let's also get our armies here assigned. So yeah, Konev, you better believe, is going to be in charge there. And we'll go with you. It doesn't really matter right now. The Men of Steel. Whoop. The General Secretary stand alone in his office, glass in hand, remembering days now decades past, before the war, before the fascists, before the Union even. Back when they were the representatives of the workers and peasants of Russia, laboring under the oppressive gaze of the Tsar. Then, just as now, victory was not certain, but the struggle wasn't tainted with false victories, missed opportunities, and betrayal. They were the spear racing towards the heart of reaction, their minds ever turned towards the glorious future that awaited them. Kaganovich raised the glass to his lips and drank the vodka within, toasting to the many comrades he would never see again. How youthful the revolution appeared in those days, how vibrant the red banners and stars, how tragic the decline that followed. With Stalin's death, Russia was upon the path to destruction. There was nothing he could do, though. His removal to that god-forsaken post in Siberia ended any chance of engineering Bukharin's fall from power. He was stuck there, forced to watch as Barbarossa proved his every prediction true, the Germans smashing through an unprepared military and grinding the Russian people into the dirt. He slammed the cup back into the table, harder than he meant to, his own aggression surprising him. Even then, that wasn't the end. Khrushchev and Rokossovsky, those traitorous bastards, just had to twist the knife. Yet, it was never over. Russia lay shattered, its people divided among various ideologies and systems, all aiming for the same goal. It was an opportunity. The people would come to see the future which Bukharin had robbed them, and it would be from Kaganovich's hand they would find the prosperity and freedom they deserved. But it would be by that same hand reaction would be crushed. There would be no place for fascists and their servants in the fifth column here. Kaganovich was resolute. Nothing would be permitted to endanger socialism and the proletariat state. He had learned much over the years, and one lesson stood above all others. Trust is the weapon of the fascist. Alright. And of course, place your bets, everybody, for who you think is going to win in each section of Russia. Who do you think is going to win in the West? Who do you think is going to win, meaning West Russia? I'm pretty sure I'm going to win here because I'm awesome. Who's going to win in Central Siberia, and of course who will win in the Far East reaches. Conflicting vision. Okay, here we go. It's Nikita Khrushchev time. Nikita Khrushchev sighed heavily as he sat in, probably supposed to say sank into his chair in his office. He rubbed against his temples, smoothing out the painful throbbing. If there was ever a moment where Khrushchev wanted to have a drink in his hands, it was at that very moment. He had just come back from a meeting with Kaganovich. Okay. It was about the proper way to deal with the political prisoners, the undesirables and reactionary peasantry Kaganovich loathed so much. His orders were explicit. Only under the watchful eye of the revolutionary could they be led down the right path, and that terror could cure them of their false consciousness. Khrushchev, as he had many times before, attempted to guide Kaganovich to a more humane, less wasteful policy. Perhaps, Khrushchev had said, they could be offered the choice between conscription and hard labor, which would solve the problem of a lack of available manpower. Kaganovich, of course, dismissed it as unorthodox and not in line with Marxist-Leninist thought. Dismissed, Khrushchev returned to his office depressed. Needing a moment's rest, he closed his eyes and allowed himself a light reprieve from the daily horror he was a participant in. Perhaps one day, he allowed himself to imagine, things would be more humane. Perhaps Marxist-Leninism could be used to enhance human life, rather than cutting it short in cruel industrial planning. Perhaps, he thought with a tiny bit of childish glee, it could be used to destroy the enemy of all things moral, the Germans. Perhaps terror would be forgotten, and socialism will once again rise from the ashes of a broken and shattered Russia. So that is Nikita Khrushchev, who will be playing today. One day more. So you know what? Actually, because we just had our first Khrushchev thing, and I've gotten through the whole first week of the campaign, so I can now pause and talk about more stuff. Right? That's cool. You guys like that, right? I wanted to talk about the structure of the Khrushchev biography by William Taubman that I was referring to earlier. So we're gonna kind of be pulling from it a fair amount, but one of the things that I think is kind of interesting is your typical biography will just of like a historical figure. Well, of course, it's a biography of a historical figure. Who else would it be about? Anyway, but your typical biography, maybe there'll be a preface. So, for example, one of the great biographies, The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt by Edmund Morris. Maybe there'll be it has a preface where it's showing Theodore Roosevelt on his first day as president, and it just talks about that a little bit, and then you turn the page to chapter 1, and it goes, Theodore Roosevelt was born here, and you just start there. You literally start when they are a baby, and then you go into cradle to grave, as they say. Oh my gosh! Thank you very much for the orange super chat. I don't know if I've seen that color before. 400 rubles, I think that is. Thank you very, very much, Igor. Much appreciated. Remember your live streams. Keep the chat going. Live streams, going. So he says, through days dark and stormy, where great Lenin led us, our eyes saw the bright sun of freedom above. And Kaganovich, our leader, with faith in the people, inspired us to build up the land that we love. I probably should kind of sing that. The blue communist flag looks dope. You know what I do? It does look nice. I do like the color blue. It's a nice change of pace. So let me try singing it. Through days dark and stormy, where great Lenin led us, our eyes saw the bright sun of freedom above. And Kaganovich, our leader, with faith in the people, inspired us to build up the land that we love. So thank you very much. So yeah, talking about this biography real quick, and then we'll get back to it. What I think is kind of interesting about this biography is it's a bit different. So the first thing it does, and you kind of always have to do this whenever you're writing books on Russia, also whenever you're doing books in like China and stuff, you have to talk about Russia and Ukrainian. So you have to say, all right, I know there's different spellings and different versions of stuff, so like this is why I'm choosing to do what and when and why. So he has a preface where he just talks about what kind of motivated him to write it and how he did it, and then there's an introduction where he talks about Khrushchev's personality, and then the book itself starts. That's when you get the big page where it just has big letters, Khrushchev. And then it hits chapter 1, and chapter 1 is called The Fall, October 1964. And that whole chapter just chapter 1 is about how, it's not the end of Khrushchev's life, but it's definitely not the beginning either. And it's about how he gets internally couped as leader of the Soviet Union. So, I tell you all of that to tell you this, because then you hit chapter 2, and chapter 2 finally begins with a sentence when you're already 20 pages into the book. Actually, I think more when you count the preface, because the preface pages aren't numbered, or they have those Roman numeral pages. Yeah, so you're 25 pages into the book, the biography of Khrushchev, and Khrushchev's finally been born. So Khrushchev was born on April 15th, 1894 in the southern Russian village of Kaganovich. So I tell you all of that to read this little section, because it's why did we take so long in this biography of Khrushchev to actually get to him being born? Well, as it says here, Khrushchev devoted to the first 14 years of his life only a handful of the several thousand pages of memoirs he dictated during the last 5 years of his life. Quote, he declared at the very start, recalls his son, that he was not going to describe his life beginning in childhood. He couldn't stand chronological narratives. They depressed him. And end quote. So I think that the biographer thought it would be fun because Khrushchev didn't like chronological narratives to jump into the middle of the story and also basically to jump into the middle of the story and then rewind back to the beginning later because that's what Khrushchev would have wanted. I don't know. I don't think he ever says that explicitly in here, William Tyumen, but I just think it's kind of funny. So, having done that, let's maybe play a video game now. Oop, adjusting this. Okay. All right. Nice to see so many of you here on a weekday. Hello, is it my stream you're looking for? See, Nikita would have loved Pulp Fiction. There you go. The other Kaganovich. Yeah, so that's this one here, Mikhail. Our economy mister. One would expect elder siblings to be the ones exercising authority over their younger siblings, yet there was Mikhail Kaganovich, an advisor to his younger brother, Lazar, the man of steel, silently at his superior. They gotta really work on the grammar and some of this stuff. Just do a little, run over the drafts again. Mikhail went on to remind of his presence with a slight cough. Lazar didn't seem to notice. Lazar, Mikhail said before being cut, General Secretary, when we're working. Lazar replied in an authoritarian tone. The elder slightly grinded his teeth, visibly annoyed. They cannot be a general secretary. The German bombing issue needs to be addressed. They cannot be further allowed to exerce fear tactics on the common people and destroy our industries without some kind of punitive retribution. I'm pleading, begging you, that we start taking swift actions against the fascist threat. The General Secretary kept looking at the documents laid before him, vaguely waving his brother away. Yes, if you say so, Lazar said, a slight frown betraying what seemed to be a feeling of hopelessness. The elder brother let a barely audible sigh, his hope of ever being taken seriously by his own younger brother squashed ever so slightly, its embers diminishing each day. Family matters. Politics first, sibling relations second. Yeah, I was hearing a thing on the radio a couple weeks ago how apparently Boris Johnson's sister really disagrees with him politically. And she was like, they played like a clip of her speaking, or a couple clips of her speaking, or from an interview or whatever. And I just thought it was weird because she was basically saying, I only disagree with my brother in public. Because when they get together at the holidays and stuff, they don't want to just, they don't want to discuss politics because they're seeing each other in person when they usually don't get to. So it's kind of a weird thing, because I only criticize my brother because, we got to keep Christmas nice. I only criticize him to millions of people in the newspapers and stuff. All right. We all know this event. And, of course, we must never forget who this stream is dedicated to, that being the brave fighters of the Mujahideen. Sympathy and relations are but part of reactionary anti-Stalinist morality. Politics must always come first. Your country's president has a daughter running against him in the next election. Oh, isn't it fun when those things happen? That happened in Peru when Fujimori, who is just the most... I'm not going to say whether I like him or I hate him, but he's sure as shit interesting. The most interesting president Peru's ever had, in my personal opinion, was Fujimori. And, going into his second term, his wife was running against him. Fujimori's daughter actually recently ran for president in Peru again. Lost. It was a real squeaker, but I think Peru only knows how to have squeaker elections. They seem to be incapable of having blowouts. Even when we're playing for Stalinist reformists, we will always dedicate the stream to the brave Mujahideen. There you go. Okay. Sword of the Republic! Comrades! You are the first line of defense against fascism. With a gun in your hand, with your hearts filled with love, you are the warriors of freedom, the one who makes our enemies tremble. Ivan Konev stopped for a moment, taking a long and deep breath. In front of him were at least 100 men, their uniforms mismatched and old. Their bodies were thin, although much chunkier than their civilian counterparts. The 1st Tank Division is the pride and joy of the People's Republic of Comrade Kaganovich and all friends of liberty and justice. He better be, Konev thought with some bitterness. The amount of arm twisting and political wheeling and dealing that he had to get in order to keep the 1st Tank Division up and running was nightmarish. Even in Kaganovich's perfect proletarian state, there were always enough party apparatuses? I don't know. I've never seen this word before. Apparatchiks. That must be a typo because I've never seen that word. It's clearly based off of apparatus. But anyway. Willing to swap favors for the sake of political expediency, even to the security minister and Red Army commander himself. Suddenly, as he continued, Konev heard the small whining sound above him. Then, relying on his instincts, he screamed, "Hit the deck!" and did so himself, diving on the ground a couple feet away. Around him, he could hear men scream incoherently as they realized that several thousand feet above them, a German bomber was using them as target practice. Afterwards, when taking into account losses, the dead was 7 and injured was 30, a third of them being permanently incapacitated. Ivan Konev sighed and with a heavy heart canceled the rest of the speech. The bombing said more than he could have anyway. He who lives by the sword. Yeah. Okay. The burden we bear. Comrade! There is no denying that things are hard. I was thinking of that. Has anybody seen that video? It's like some voice actor has a YouTube channel and he... I'll just play it. I'm sure I'm gonna like... Hold on a sec. It's gonna get worse. I haven't even read this event yet. But I'm sure that this is basically gonna be this video. Hold on. Yeah.
My friend, listen up. I know the world is...
Oh. Wait, why is it going at double speed? Or no, it felt like it's going fast. Hold on. Yeah, I think this event is basically this video.
My friend, listen up. I know the world is scary right now, but it's gonna get way worse. My friend, listen up. I know the world is scary right now, but it's gonna get way worse.
Yeah. So let's actually read the event, but I can already kind of tell that's what it's gonna be. Alright. So, comrade, there is no denying that things are hard. The Soviet Union was great, but treason, fascism, and revisionism have wilted it down to a husk of its former self. Nevertheless, we are the true successors, untainted by Bukharism or any other deviation from the path of Marx, Lenin, and Stalin. The traitors can slander us, subvert us, bomb us, and murder us. They cannot murder the righteous spirit of the working class. Comrade, be reassured by the fact that the Communist Party has made many sacrifices in your name. Chairman Kaganovich works day and night, striving to protect you from Nazism and warlordism. The Red Army, stalwart as ever, stands vigilant against the bandits who would harm you. The finest government in Russia makes the hardest decisions, so that you can live without fear. Comrade, if you feel discouraged, remember this. All of our hardships, all of our enemies have carved us into a point sharper than a bayonet. As we pierce through our adversaries, ask yourself a vital question. How can you serve? By devoting every fiber of my being to the communist cause. I'm doing my part. And speaking of sharpening, we're now going to have pencil sharpening ASMR. Oh shit, I broke my pencil actually. Fuck. Okay, hold on a sec. So I'll just sharpen part of it anyway. Here it comes. ASMR pencil sharp. Oh no, the lead's not out. Almost there. I'm switching to the smaller hole. Okay. Damn it, and then the lid fell out. Yeah, I just straight up broke a pencil, guys. Sounds like eating an apple. It is fiber. It's just wood fiber instead. Just trying to get to the graphite. Okay, come on. Okay, let's just keep going while I sharpen this thing. Oh, yeah, hold on. The new national focus is okay, so we have underground world, construction speed. This could be like support equipment, radar station, repairing, bunker building. Decrease our consumer good requirements. That sounds good. But frankly, both halves of these just stink, it seems to me. Our republic will become a great fortress, unable to be breached by air or land. We also cannot quite, we still don't have enough command power for some of this stuff, so what is it trying to get me to do? War planning, no! Securing control is always pretty good, though. Let's do that. Political campaigning, that's a no! Okay. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do for you guys. Even though I already did my little explanation of how to pronounce and spell Khrushchev. I'm just going to type it in the chat for you so you guys could copy and paste it. Although I'm sure you already knew how to spell his name off the top of your head. Definitely not just saying Corn Lord because you don't know how to spell it. Anyway. Speer has been named his successor. Huh. Okay. Okay, an ultimatum. We have received an ultimatum from Khrushchev. They are demanding. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Oh, that's these ones. Oh, these are the This is down in the in Kazakhstan. Okay, it was I didn't even know they could raid up here. Then again, I don't think I've ever played a nation that bordered them at the beginning. Yeah, we're gonna say we're not gonna back down easily, but let me just first kind of get in position here. Okay, I think we're set. We will not back it down so easily. That should be an easy win, I think. We will not surrender to Kazakh revisionists. Enemy defeated. That was easy. Fucking geeks. Bunch of geeks. Oi, where'd my command power go? Oh, did I hit last stand and I forgot or something? Okay. Hope our comrades in the steppes went out. Are there communists down there? Oh, yeah! Kislorda. Right. Who also have the blue. You see, this I like. I like that blue stripe. Although it's kind of weird because I would see that and I think, is that like the Navy flag? I know it's not the Navy flag, but it's just, you know, that's when it comes to mind. But it's just like they're basically landlocked because they technically have access to the Aral Sea. Okay. What is this shit? Let's go with the agricultural methods, because isn't later we're going to be having problems with it, with our 5-year plans or whatever. One of the other stands is also communist. That's despot, democracy, despot. If there's communists down here, oh, no, Orenburg is not, is someone knocking on my door? Derwilliger. I heard a reference to Derwilliger recently. Actually, I should not explain the context of that. But never mind. Let's see here. Let's see here. External investments. No. Excuse me. This stands below Kazakhstan. Well, let's see. These guys are... Oh, yep, there it is. Tajikistan is authoritarian socialists. Also has one of the better Moe Reich portraits. Or, excuse me, Moe order. Okay, hidden communes. Expand the shelters underground. If you do too much industrialization, you cause a famine. It doesn't hurt your agricultural development if you don't cause a famine. Ah. I see. How informative. By the way, today we're just kind of booting up the campaign, so to speak. This isn't going to be a very long stream, probably, just as a heads up. Our Tajik comrades do be fighting on. It do be. Noodle Boy wants me to play Imperator. Wow, that's a rare request. If I'm going to play in that time period, it's going to be with something else besides Imperator. Plus, isn't Imperator over? Like, they don't even support it anymore, Paradox? With updates? Whether that's ever going to stop me from playing Crusader Kings 2 for the rest of my life. So, while we're just waiting for something to happen, I've been reorganizing a lot of my bookshelves, and I'm actually really having a problem figuring out what to do with, like, specifically some... Oh, we can initiate a raid now. Should probably do a raid on the Black League. No, that's over a river, actually. That's a bad idea. Let's do one over here against Zatislav. But I was thinking about... Okay, I can't do that now. What the fuck? Okay, fine. I guess we're going to try our hands with Omsk. I think this is going to go pretty bad. I would admit, because it's over a river, and I imagine that they're trained because they are made of army remnants. What the fuck is happening right here? Thank you. So... Anyway, I've been, the aviators over the People's Republic, Foreman, and then the aviators that arrive ambushing the bombers, forcing them to scatter. The Germans were learning the Russians could and would fight back. So this is about the free aviators who were fighting them. But anyway, so I'm not much of an EU4 guy. The game just never clicked with me. I know how to play it, but it just never... I don't know how to describe it. There's just something missing for me. But yeah, anyway, I've been moving my bookshelves around, and if I do say so myself, I think they're looking... Not my bookshelves, I've been moving my books around on my shelves, organizing them, and if I do say so myself, they're looking pretty damn good lately. So I was thinking about doing a thing, because for those of you who don't know, I have another YouTube channel, which admittedly I haven't been able to really spend some time on. That's going to change in September. I'm going to reprioritize it, but I was thinking about doing a thing where once I hit 1,000 subscribers over there on that channel, because that's kind of what I need to get basically anything done over there. I was thinking about doing like a bookshelf tour, show you guys my my book collection and how I have it organized and whatnot. Sablin's got drip now? What? Did they change his portrait? No, it's the same. Yeah, that's what it's been. Okay. Let's work on this repair speed. What are the systems we have available? I don't want to do... No, I don't want to do the industrial investments. We'll just do it through the 5-year plans, right? And I actually don't need the manpower for once, I think. So, there we go. We're a year behind on how many rifles we need. Maybe I should do that industrial investment after all. Look at his post-reunion portrait. You mean like if Sablin unites all of Russia? Well, we're not going to see that today because it ain't going to happen because I'm doing that. What's my other channel? It's called Voyages in Time. I'll post a link to it. Hold on a sec. I had a really weird comment on it actually that I was seeing today. Basically, somebody, you see how when I go onto the channel, it says the channel doesn't have any content, but it does. Anyway, it's there. So subscribe, get me towards 1,000. All right, let's initiate the raid. I'm not feeling great about this. No, they just gave it up. Oh, you little bitch. Tomsk's already on the Provisional Duma. What was I gonna... see, okay, so in 25 days we can do another upgrade. Focus on research? No. I was just saying something about books. The books are looking great. Oh yeah, somebody did this comment on my other channel on my most popular video on there, the one where I talk about why you should watch Legend of the Galactic Heroes. And they say this guy was going through the whole video and timestamping and arguing essentially with the stuff that I was saying every step of the way, and including saying things that were just like either he was being disingenuous or dumb or not paying attention, because he would be saying, oh, this is wrong, you didn't think about this, and it's like I mentioned that in the video. So I was thinking about, do I want to reply to this guy? And then I looked and there was one comment, like one reply to his comment from somebody else, and it just said something to the effect of, "This is why nobody likes talking to you," or something. Oh my gosh, it went personal on him, that guy. So wow. All right. A small group of people stuck through the fortifications along our northern border, across the border, where they were quickly apprehended by military patrols, group of mostly men, but there were women and children. They claimed to have deserted from Rokossovsky's petty little junta and seek refuge in Tyumen, the current torchbearer of the International Socialist Revolution. This unusual crowd seems surprisingly educated on our socialist ideas, despite coming from the reactionary state of Sverdlovsk. They may also have valuable information we can use against them. However, some of their language is ripped straight from Marx and Stalin's writings, almost to the letter. It's entirely possible these men and women are spies who have been... I was just thinking that. Men and women are spies who have been sent to destabilize our government. What shall be done with them? Solidarity, or have them detained and educated. So we go with manpower, interrogated, excuse me, or we go with stability. Well... yeah, let's get manpower. Cause stability, I'm sure we can get it up just fine. This ain't gonna be some fucking Tabaritsky run where we're just bleeding stability everywhere. Yeah. Let them in. Let them into the club, cause I wanna belong and I need to get strong. And if memory serves, I'm addicted to words and they're useless. Alright. World of Warships has Legend of the Galactic Heroes ships right now. How would that work? Are they Navy? They're Navy. Isn't that World of Warships a Navy? Like Water Navy? Keep in mind, these Stalinists exist in a timeline where Stalin died in an industrial accident and never got to power. Yeah, I'm figuring you're talking about the chat, not me, because I already knew that. It's a space thing, check it out. I'll try to remember to do that. Weeps could be quite defensive about their anime. God, so fucking typical. It's 8 o'clock local time, and I still have no idea if I'm working tomorrow or not. That's just so typical and frustrating about my job. But, you know, in like 10 days, I'm going to find out whether or not it's still going to be my job. I actually got really excited today because I got home and I was checking my emails, and there was an opening for a park ranger position, which I'm incredibly qualified for. And I would really like doing that. It's a long story, but I've got a decent amount of background experience with that sort of thing. And I was super excited, and I go to apply for it, and they were already closing. They had already closed the position. I thought, well, shit, probably everybody who got that email just flooded them with resumes instantly, so they probably got a billion resumes in a day, and they went, okay, yeah, we don't need any more, that's enough. So that was a shame. Bunkers in the distance. Private Stanislav Kartanov's. Wait a minute. Stanislav Kartanov's. I think this is a guy. This is a historian, I think. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I need to grab a book from the other room. Nope, never mind. False alarm, guys. Okay. Put that down. So, Stanislav Karatanov's lungs, as he gazed out from the top of the hill. It was the crack of dawn. Earlier even than the hour, he was roughly shaken out of bed most days. What could be done? He was on watch, and his duty was to watch. The Red Army tolerated few things less than insubordination. At least he could smoke. What's this? Bro Podcat is stepping down as Hearts of Iron 4 head dev to work on a secret project. Are we finally getting East versus West? Well, if he's just now stepping down to work on it, it's probably something we won't see for years. Or at least a year. Cold War stuff could be interesting. Although I've been having a lot of fun with with China Mao's Legacy, which admittedly only covers 10 years of the Cold War. East versus West is Cold War, right? I'm getting so much shit mixed up in my head lately. Okay. A plume of smoke exited Private. Oh yeah, at least he could smoke. He took an appreciative drag on a cigarette, let his eyes pull him to something interesting. His vision settled on the bomb shelters in the distance, awaiting their purpose. After all they had faced, the collapse of the Union, treason, collapse, Republic endured, at least in Tyumen. No amount of bombs or bullets could keep the soldiers of the proletariat from taking back what was rightfully theirs. Sure, the army was strict, Stanislav and thousands like him. That was nothing compared to the losses they had already suffered. The Red Army stands. Nice, free army experience. Alright. Been spending both our lives living in a scavenger's paradise. There's no time to grow in it. There's no time for corn or rice living in a scavenger's paradise. Let's see here. Have you guys ever seen the video of Coolio doing Gangster's Paradise with Stevie Wonder? Because it's based on the Stevie Wonder song, the music part. And it's so cool, especially when Stevie Wonder actually comes out. I think they were performing it at some award show. Wait, hold on. Do I want the industrial expertise or equipment? Oh, industry, right? Isn't that the most fitting? Or should we go with equipment? Man, this all fucking sucks. Let's do equipment first. But yeah, when Stevie Wonder comes out, he's like flanked by the choir, and it's like fucking, it's like he's Jesus coming out, like Black Jesus. Except we all know that the real Black Jesus was Earl Monroe of the New York Knicks. When Brazil wins the World Cup, this is so lame. This is like a real picture instead of the fucking Moe girl. Okay. Yeah, that whole album, Songs in the Key of Life, is great. Stevie Wonder did so much good stuff in that period. There was also Inner Visions, which is amazing. It's just like 6 songs, but they're all incredible. A Day in the Dark, his Muscle Strings, he did. Okay, this is just the workers stuff, I think. Yeah, that, like, you know, with the possible workers' revolt that could happen after the unification of the region. Yeah. It's based. Okay, yeah, we can start for, we can prepare another one here. Alright, now let's go after, Zlatowsk again. Try to this time. You don't get looted while I'm preparing to loot you. Don't lose the money that I'm rightfully gonna steal. Let's see here. Looks like the Civil Rights Bill got passed. So, who does that open up as potential people who could get elected? They could maybe get Wallace. They could, our triumvirate just collapsed. Maybe let's see what the AI could do with Wallace, George Wallace. Could be fun. You want an MLK president route? Maybe if they ever make a Kaiser redo version of the Moe order, or the New Order, excuse me. All just blurs in my head, and long as he's not born or dead, and I always will remember him. Lately I've been oh, they just paid up. They don't want none. Alright, emergency measures. Bombings impact our republic on every level. We need to focus on efforts on protecting the innocent or preserving our military strength. THD, did you notice the border between Bolivia and Paraguay is different than in real life? Well, I don't know too much yet about South America in this mod, because I know that they folded Cold Springs in, but I'm just doing my Brazil campaign that's pre-recording, and then I'm also wanting to do a live stream series of Brazil, which I'll do after I'm done with this one at some point. And also once I've at least sufficiently deep enough into my pre-recorded Brazil campaign, do a different path. I'm sure you guys know, some of the smarter ones among you might already know what path, or not smarter, that's not the right word. Some of the very perceptive fans of mine might know what Brazil path I'm going to do next that's not the one I'm doing already. Let's not get into that right now anyway. Okay, the Soviet Union left behind a huge number of settlements, supply caches, and whatnot. We located salvageable sites. We've got fuel, we've got military equipment, and we've got food. It is only for 90 days, so I don't want to do that. Army needs to last, choose the fuel. Would that be a permanent oil given? That's kind of good. Oh, actually, there's a fair amount of oil out here. Yeah, they got oil, they got oil. I actually have, I got 14 oil, and that's the second least in the whole all of Western Siberia. Actually, no, because I got another 5 here, so we don't really need that then. Bigger gun, longer life. It saves me 210 days on the infantry equipment and then some. Yeah, let's get the equipment. Oh yeah, Axon Man, that's right. You're the developer of the South America mod. Yeah. That border change you see, me and the Paraguayan team agreed to have it like that in our lore. That's why it looks like that. Is it also because it's just cleaner? Little, like, have you guys ever seen the, gosh, I don't even know if he's still around there, that one, guy, XKCD, but he has something, what says it, United States map. I don't know much about him. It was, but he was like a mathematician, but he has some interesting stuff where, oh man, whoa, this was not the map I was looking for, but it's fucking cursed as shit, so let's look at it anyway. It's just called United States map, that's it, it's just this picture. Oh man, it's so cursed. Yeah, so like, where's Texas? Okay, Texas got flipped upside down, is in the middle, and in the middle, Illinois is now the part of Florida that sticks out, while the top is Tennessee. Rhode Island is New Orleans, and Idaho and South Carolina make the Gulf Coast of what used to be Texas. So El Paso would be here, like in the middle of New York. What the fuck? Yeah, so he says, I want to fucking die now, CHGF. This was not what I was looking for. Guys, try to find your state. There's Michigan. Wait, where's the rest of Michigan? Where's Upper Michigan? Is Upper Michigan just gone? Do you guys see it anywhere? Upper Michigan would be over here. There's Wisconsin. Wisconsin just kind of got flipped upside down. Here's Vermont. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is Upper Michigan, right there, north of Arkansas on the East Coast. So wait, where is the state of Mississippi? Seriously, where is it? I don't think he incorporated all of them here. Or where? Yeah, where the fuck is Mississippi? Am I blind? I don't see it. Anyway. The freaking yeah, that's not what I was trying to look for. I was looking for something where this guy tries to talk about state. Yeah, here we go. So like, this is something that you paradox map painting people I thought would like. So it's freaking this is how he said he would like to clean up the borders of the United States. So yeah, like right here, clean up. So bring New Mexico's border down a little bit into Texas. So I guess El Paso would join New Mexico, which some would like and some would hate. And then, but yeah, these little smaller, these sticking out parts would go to Mexico, I guess. Although, is Tucson here? Okay. So yeah, cut off a part of Alaska to give to Canada. Yeah, give part of Florida to Alabama to make it more square. Straighten these surveying areas out. Oh yeah, this part, the part to trigger the people in Michigan. Yeah, Upper Michigan should just be given to Wisconsin. Also, that little speck of Minnesota. That goes up to, give that to Canada, just cut it, just like, get rid of the Gadsden Purchase. There you go. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Long Island, move it to New Jersey or Connecticut or make its own state. And then just doing some little things here to fix up Delaware and stuff. Like, yeah, give this to Delaware, give this here to Rhode Island, just make it a little bigger. Oh, yeah, like right here with Texas, pop it a little bit here, or, like pop out some of Louisiana and Arkansas just to kind of get a right angle right there. I'm surprised they didn't want to continue the straight border on the eastern side of Washington down to Oregon. Yeah, it's because I think this is a river. I don't know, actually. But yeah, like right here, align this to the grid. So like clean this up too. So Idaho actually gets kind of fucking big because it eats up a chunk of Wyoming here. So it's a really large in the south, and then but then Utah becomes a square. Oh yeah, and then check this out. Oklahoma's panhandle becomes fucking enormous to clean up the rest of the borders to the north and south of it. So Oklahoma would now border Nevada. Anyway, so let's go down here. Oh yeah, and there's a little explanation. So this is the concept here. Is it was scary when the graphic designers seized control of the country, but it turned out they just wanted to fix some things about the state borders that always bothered him. That's why they did the violent coup. You know what? That reminds me of I never finished watching Ken Burns' Dust Bowl documentary. Because I was watching with a friend of mine, and then the Backstreet Boys reunion tour started, and so we didn't keep finishing it. Anyway, let's oh shoot, there we go, live streaming, there we go. Why are we looking at the United States? We're in Russia. Probably going to go about another 15 minutes, guys, because I don't know how early I got work tomorrow. Takes gerrymandering to a new level. There we go, Che Guevara's out. Worrisome. I actually delivered a letter to a Che Guevara today at work. Don't think that was him. Not even sure that was that person's real name, but that's not my business. But that name did pop out on the envelope. I went, that's probably not true. T-shirt man out of prison. Yeah. How do you think he funds the revolutions? Whoa, what was that? You can see how it froze up there a little bit. We have an ultimatum from Magnitogorsk. I don't even know what the... Oh, look at these. Oh, they're so adorable trying to attack me on this one tile. We will not make a deal so easily. Other past comment about the border. What was it about? Oh, I'm not sure. I might have missed it, but it was about the Chaco War didn't end in 1935. It became a frozen war, and a different peace treaty was made in the 1950s. Interesting. With German mediation. Oh, you see, like right here, you see the curve of the river's right there. This should be the border, and you know. And you know, we gotta let's just give Guyana this whole section north of the Amazon just to clean the border. You know, just I wonder how many of these people who complain about the way I make borders in Hearts of Iron 4, if they also talk about it, like, can you believe what the Oi, what? We got raided after all? We lost? You wanna fucking run that by me again? As they're fully motorized divisions. Holy shit. Well, that's... Oh my gosh, I'm pissed. Guys, but look at all this friggin' political power I've got. It's wild. You can recruit this crazy rank. There goes the political power. I spoke too soon. Lysenko there. Can't Lysenko come back in the After Midnight? Isn't he one of the leaders? I actually forget. Let's see. Drawing borders around rivers sounds like a great idea. But paper, it's a massive natural barrier. The only problem is that rivers move a lot. Yeah, well, that's there's actually a park. It's a national park here in El Paso called the Chamizal National Memorial, which was basically the result of a negotiated change of the border between the United States and Mexico. That didn't get resolved until the 60s. It's a cool little place. They got a museum there, but they also it's kind of better known, I'd say, at this point for like the cultural events, because they would do a lot. Of course, this is before the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. They would do a lot of the they do a lot of Shakespeare plays there. They'd also you have Music Under the Stars, which was like a concert series they would do every summer, where they would like have bands play, and then on the 4th of July they'd have a symphony orchestra. And what else would they do down there? Yeah, so stuff like that. Now, Music Up Under the Stars is super duper popular. Like if you want to get a good spot, you got to be there by like 9 in the morning on days of a Music Under the Stars. Very, very popular event. Okay, anyway, emergency members. Every bomb that drops is a choice we make. Do we protect? How do we say we speak for the workers? Basically, it's like, do we want to protect the workers, or do we want to help with our army? We can mourn the civilians when we have taken Moscow. Khrushchev takes over Magnitogorsk and After Midnight. Okay, I guess I must be mixing them up. Or maybe there was a different Lysenko somewhere else doing something else. How could we speak for the workers if we don't defend them? Survival stuff. You know, after all, we are the People's Republic of Tyumen. This war drags on here. But I think it might just be a matter of time for Sablin. Oh, that's gonna be tomorrow's work. Yeah. Fucking almost 8:30 at night. Let me know if I'm having work tomorrow or not. Literally the worst part of my fucking job. I fucking hate that shit. It's so goddamn annoying. So yeah, we're gonna stop it here in like 10 minutes because I got other stuff I gotta do tonight. I'm just gonna make myself some dinner, late dinner. Do some reading. Trying to do a fair amount of reading. I'm juggling a couple of different two books mainly right now. But I basically have committed myself to these. I have these 4. Basically, they're Russian literature, all four of them are written by Russian authors. The first 2 are Tolstoy that I want to do, and so like I've been starting with reading Anna Karenina, which I haven't read since high school, and I'm already like. Wait a minute. I'm already really appreciating it more than I remember because now I know the plot of Anna Karenina because like I've read it before, but now I could appreciate a lot of the little foible stuff. Like actually, where's my copy of it? It's in the other room. There's this part where it's talking about a character who's a liberal, and the newspaper he reads, and it's just like it has nothing to do with the plot, but it's funny and interesting commentary. And you see, that's the thing with a lot of classic literature is I think people think that they're old and stuffy and stuff, but books, even Russian literature is written to entertain and is very funny, really, sometimes. I need to think about what my army comp's going to be. Do we want to go for corn helicopters? Nah, I don't think that fits with Khrushchev. Nah, that doesn't. Let's do some industry. Like here, let me go get my copy of it in the other room. I'm going to read you guys a sentence or two that you'll find funny. Okay. So let me find this thing about the liberals. Okay, where is it? Dang it, I know because I was writing in it because I thought it was so funny. Oh, here we go. So this is a paragraph about a character reading a liberal newspaper. So. He took in and read a liberal paper, not an extreme one. You gotta remember this is in 1870s Russia, so that's not like a modern liberal. Anyway, not an extreme one, but one advocating he took in and read a liberal paper, not an extreme one, but one advocating the views held by the majority. And in spite of the fact that science, art, and politics had no special interest for him, he firmly held those views on all these subjects which were held by the majority and by his paper. And he only changed them when the majority changed them. Or, more strictly speaking, he did not change them, but they imperceptibly changed of themselves within him. And then there's like another, actually, a super long paragraph that's basically a whole page where it's just him. It's just talking about him in this reading of the liberal paper and what it says about him, but it has nothing to do with the plot at all. But it is entertaining. Anyway, so what am I missing in my equipment production? Oh yeah, the IFVs. I think if we're gonna do tanks, we gotta go with the heavier ones, the main battle tanks, not these IFVs. So maybe that's what we need to be building. Kind of come over here, get that main battle tank up. 3 a year. Holy shit. I think those main battle tanks would be very useful as we head west. Then again, if we're going to be going against Germany later, shouldn't we be doing helicopters actually? Like, we gotta do helicopters in the long term. Tell you what, we'll do maybe tanks short term, helicopters long term, but so because we're gonna be doing that long term, we need to start researching that shit now. Yeah, for the long term attacking of Germany. Because their tanks will be better than my tanks, I'm sure of it, so I need to go even higher and higher! Uh-oh, something's crashing. Or they were crashing? Okay, that was weird. You guys saw that, right? Had that bit of lag. Radio lag. Oh, we could raid the Ural League. Do we border them? Oh, technically we do. One tile. I will take it, Kashira. Okay. They're planning on removing helicopter divisions eventually. Well, I guess that means we better use them now. Okay, so under the earth, waiting in the hall outside of the local party secretary's office, Igor could feel his hands trembling. By God, if only the workers had delegated a different foreman to make the report. Some of the men have concerns about the safeties of these bunkers. Of course, it's not to say that you or the Communist Party have done even a single thing to jeopardize the safety. They were sabotaged by counter-revolutionaries, or it's confidence among the workers. There are safety concerns. I'll let my superiors know. Hold on a sec. The secretary here, a short, broad Armenian, emerged from his office. The secretary shushed him before he can get to the mandatory bridge of Kaganovich. So I wonder if that's a reference to, I think that, I think there was, I don't remember his name though. It's in the bio, but there was an Armenian guy that Khrushchev would associate with who worked with him. I have not played Japan or China in the New Order, no. He hoped the message would climb the chain of phone calls to Kaganovich himself. Who are we if we cannot keep the people safe, or we must prioritize efficiency over it all? Who are we if we cannot keep the people safe? Let's keep it worker friendly. Rapid caravanning. I've got so much political power. It's because I'm not spending it on training our troops, which I usually do. It usually eats up my political power so fast in any normal game. Alright, initiate the raid. They refuse tribute. Well, you know what that means. There it is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I didn't like that red there for a second. I surely did not. What's going on? We're still freezing up. Oh, it's the US side. Yada. Doing that. Successful raid. That's what I like to see. Alright, now we'll go for the industrial expertise. So, yeah, oh yeah, we were talking about other borders. Yeah, so let's cut off this treasure. Nice. 75 political power. Hell yeah. Let's cut off this bit of Kazakhstan here and give it to Uzbekistan so they go to the border. And then this. Oh my God, guys, I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit over this Turkmenistan-Uzbekistan border. I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna blow chunks. Afghanistan, they need to take this one tile here just so they can be completely fucking unstoppable. Oh, that reminds me, speaking of unstoppable. Sorry I did not stream last night. The opportunity finally presented itself where me and my two friends who wanted to watch the final Neon Genesis Evangelion movie. There we go. Irkutsk won. That war is over. Yagoda wins. The final Evangelion movie, we finally were all able at the same time be able to get together and sit down and watch it. So that prioritized, it was a higher priority to be streaming. The fucking show's been going. You know, Evangelion's been going for 26 years. I could like give up a night to finish it. If Himmler wins, border gore won't be an issue anymore. Well, on that note, we're gonna call it a night. So thank you very much for joining me for the start of this campaign. I know we're still in just the first year, but I think things are going to start going faster. And you guys know things always pick up after Hitler dies. So this is what I'm going to do, and it won't be until this series is done and I'm sufficiently far enough in my pre-recorded Brazil campaign that I don't know if I'll put up an episode of tomorrow. I'll try to tomorrow night. No promises. But we'll try to and after that we'll do the some Cold Southern Springs Brazil stuff. Anyway, thank you very much, especially to those who donated via Super Chat. The Super Chats are what fund the live streams. I am Conquering History Games, and I will see you next time. Good night.